1,000 eliminations might not be a lot, but for a full-time working man balancing an active lifestyle as well, it's a pretty daunting task to try and get this done in 5 days, especially on Tracer, where it's very easy to get less eliminations than you feel you deserve. I really wanted to know what it feels like to be Tracer, and also to experience and get more familiar with Tracer's kit than I already am. A journey to discover her issues and where she excels. And boy, are there a lot of issues. You would think being someone with supposedly the most mobility in the game, which is just a lie, would have you bobbing and weaving between shots. But you straight up find yourself getting one-tapped post-blink from some spam you may have not accounted for. Okay, this can be avoided if you're aware of the spam, but coming around a corner and getting one-tapped is straight up disrespectful. And the amount of things you can get one-tapped by is also ridiculous. Pharah, for example, can one-tap you, because I've only ever dealt with Pharahs with Mercies boosting them the whole time. Mei headshot, that can. Hanzo headshot, wait no, that one's fine, but Genji headshots and Torbjorn headshots shouldn't be happening. On top of that, your own time to kill is pitiful, and if any of their supports happen to see you try and one-clip someone, they can just turn around and tap any form of healing and now you're screwed. These were my first thoughts. This problem gets solved by being the holder of the flank. Much like in its greater predecessor, TF2, where in the 6's format, the scout is also the most mobile character in the game, but not really, again. And they are the holder of the flank, master of the form of the side meat shot. If you're at the flank, you won't be taking unnecessary spam, and you will have the opportunity to one-clip a character safer, and or do what Tracer's speciality is, cleaning up those that are retreating. This Winston, an enemy I always avoid unless he is the only thing left. I fear this monkey. He aggresses onto our Hanzo, and I'm shivering in fear by association. He goes down, and I think to myself, oh no, it's me next. But then he gets antied and eats up so much damage and you're dead. Oh, it's an amazing sight to see when you just happen to stumble upon a whimpering opponent, unsuspecting and confident they've just escaped a team fight. They don't even need to be retreating. They could just be cowering around a corner as they are screaming for heals, and it's just... You see, you can really clean up kills on Tracer, and it is exhilarating. Zipping in and out, mowing down unhealthy enemies one by one, and getting your first play of the game of the challenge. Oh man, it feels so good. Adrenaline coursing through your veins, moving at 100 miles per hour as they all fall one by one. But wait, what's this? And then you get that juice. I was soloing all these games, as was my intention for the challenge. And when you just get hit with the good stuff from a support that was looking over you, and they had trust in you, it is a rush that I don't think you can get on any other agent. Maybe Genji and Soldier, but it just hits so different when you're Tracer. But to calm it down for a second, you don't even have to be stomping. Tracer is a backline menace. So, King's Row has the most choke point choke to start. And with Tracer, you can zip right on through, spearheading the assault, but if that doesn't work, you can go through the back and harass the backline. This Zen thinks he can deal with me. And well, you see what happens. This Ana is a bit more cautious and tries to hassle me away. But then Big Brother Doom comes in, and oh, it's on now. No healing for your enemy team. Like that, their supports are just gone. Ryan comes to avenge them, and oh no, Doomfist! I did my part. Look, Tracer is so fun to play, and forcing myself to play only her for 5 days straight, even when I knew there were times I should swap, it wasn't all bad. I have an elaborate list of heroes that I don't like to play against as Tracer. One of them is enough to make me switch, but boy, they often get paired up. And I stick to my guns, and stayed as Tracer every single time. It hurt, and it was a challenge for sure. But the worst part is, a piece lies in the Tracer kit that supplies me with enough anxiety to reconsider it entirely. The fear of wasting my ult. So many heroes can negate it entirely, and they are the most common heroes to play against currently. I can't really ult the tanks because they just soak it up. And if there's a Kuriko, Lifeweaver or Baptiste alive, then you really have to time it well. But when you hear that chime of Kiriko using her Suzu, then you feel free to press Q. Okay. When I was doing this challenge, I was only ever good for 2 kills with my ults. But that was enough. So often was I just holding on to it. And I missed a few, some were wasted because of the heroes I mentioned, and it was my least favourite part of Tracer's kit, to be honest. This is an issue for me, and I was getting more double kills to the end of the challenge. And although it was not as fulfilling as just cleaning up the server, I definitely improved. Early on, I had the desire to make her one clip more viable. Maybe by throwing her pistols instead of reloading, and it takes a little longer to reload, but you get that security blanket like the rest where you can do the one clip. But it should be more of a criticism to me rather than her kit. I got better, and a lot of my issues I had playing with her are solved by changing hero, and of course, I could not do that in this challenge, so I didn't. But if you want to be better at Overwatch 2 in general, then you don't just play one role. And at least a really obvious solution to this, well, not solution, but part of her kit that you can get involved is just the blink punch, which I've just been demonstrating this whole time here. In case you need to know what a blink punch is, it's simply when you just blink and melee at the same time. Usually, if they're on low health, you can kind of finish them off. Otherwise, you can use it to do a bit more damage and maybe zip out again. I also must admit a secret. 1,000 eliminations across 5 days was my original goal. On top of that, I just wanted to make a video to demonstrate how it feels to play Tracer and how she is right now. The goal I set for myself originally was a bit ridiculous. I had to bring it back to 1,000, and maybe I'll get to do that challenge again in the future, but right now, I haven't got the time to do such things. I made this goal up because I wanted to play a bit more Overwatch, and I wanted to enjoy it and force myself to play it across a period of time. And I achieved that. I definitely learned to play Tracer a lot better, and although my Elims per 10 minutes reduced, you start to understand that although you do a lot of damage sometimes, you don't always get eliminations off of it. And actually, you could have 7,000 damage, but only 11 eliminations, while you can also have 6,000 damage and 17 eliminations. There's definitely something to picking your fights. The main thing I learned is, okay, yeah, you can shoot the tank and get a lot of ult charge off of him, but you're not really doing anything for the team. If you went for the squishies, and if you did it at the right time by either flanking around or picking them off because they're already low, you're probably doing a lot more for the team already. You learn to fear Cassidy's, although you can deal with them if you know they've used their nade. Sigma is just absolutely awful to play against, as well as Doomfist. But there are people like Anna which you can really soak up. I will forever have nightmares of Ashe headshotting me from across the map. I dealt with too many of them to even want to play any more Tracer at the moment, although I know I'm about to log in and probably play some more Tracer. I did get my 1,000 eliminations, so I'll show that on the screen. And like I said, I just wanted to play Overwatch some more. And I really did actually enjoy forcing myself to do this, as twisted as that is. If you want to do this challenge as well, feel free to tweet me. You can find my Twitter down below, and I'd love to hear how well you do. Personally, I don't think Tracer is in a very bad state right now. And all I did at this point was play quick play and not competitive, so I must say that. I'm not going to force myself to do these challenges on competitive to upset myself and everyone else on the team. I think there's a lot to learning with removing options for yourself. For example, if someone's trying to be a painter or draw or edit or make music, if you remove a lot of the clutter and stick down to the basics, and in this case if I remove all of the other heroes out the pool and only play Tracer, you are forced to learn from those basics, and I was forced to learn how to play Tracer. I definitely think I'm improved, and I apologise for those people that asked me to swap when I was dealing with a Pharah and a Junkrat combination, because I can't deal with Pharah. However, we all generally had a good time, and I never really saw any toxicity out of Overwatch, which is pretty new. So this was really fun, and I'll do another one, I think. Maybe guess below who you think I'm going to be choosing. I'll catch you in the next one.